Previously on Survivor Weekender.
Lucy, because I was told at tribal council that
She's so over, like, Taelman.
I did not vote for Rusi, and I did talk to him in line, but it was to quell his own nerves because he was over there being frantic as fuck. Because frankly, he found the doc idol. And he goes, do I need to play it in? Do I need to play it? I turned around and I said, shut up. Shut up.
It's the episode. Like, sweet Danny. Sweet Danny.
Oh, flush his idol. So that's two people with advantages gone. Okay.
Damn. That'd be a successful tribal.
Justin and I want to play our amulets for a steal a vote. We want to steal Danny's vote.
Let's get to the final 8 and go from there.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Next person voted out of Survivor Weekender Season 3, Nina. Nina, your tribe is spoken. It's time for you to go. It worked out.
No. Karen, man, wasn't me.
No,
No,
sorry if you were dead.
No.
I wanted to.
I'm getting it back.
Oh my gosh.
I think I had to get Nina out. I think that she's probably very upset with me, so I worry about her on the jury. But she and I were being lumped together, and I tried that first time around to show everyone that I was like willing to vote her out. Since then, I think the concern was I'm almost 100% sure Danny gave her the idol. And so if Danny gave her an idol, she's going to feel some kind of loyalty to Danny. And then that was shown in terms of like who she was advocating for going out. She was an incredibly strategic player and needed to go out. Like I didn't want to be sitting with her at the end, especially since like I think we've worked together on quite a bit of votes. And so either of us could say like that was my idea, or someone could say that was my idea.
Executed it, so
Yeah, glad
we
it
can
went.
celebrate that for 2 seconds, and now we have to worry about the next.
Yeah.
The game that I've been playing is like, I never toss anyone's name out first. I ask people a lot of questions. Okay, like, do you want to vote this person out? What are you thinking? And then if they highlight a couple of names, and then I feel like there's one person who I would prefer to go out more than the other, then I kind of just like drop some nuggets in there. I do worry though how far that can take me. At some point, people are gonna look at each other and be like, everyone's working with Brittany. Like, what's going on here? Things are going so fast. I'm just kind of-
You know, it's going to be really rapid today. So.
Holy shit.
That wasn't anything against you.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It was.
Don't be nervous.
We just didn't know that. Like you were the 3 of them. Because they told you because we were self-threatening.
They told you the Rusi thing. We left Tasha out of the vote last time just because of her proximity to Max, and we didn't want a lot of people in the plan because that's when things get messy. Hopefully she understands. She left us out of a plan, so we're kind of even. Like, you didn't tell me stuff, I haven't told you that, but we're still tight. You're still my number 1. So we didn't know the level of, not that you were working, but we just wanted to keep it like, and make sure it happened.
We want Max to play his idol.
I understand.
So, and you were the closest to them to make them the most comfortable to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I
Yeah.
get it.
I mean,
I get it. I get it.
No.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I am extremely nervous after that last tribal council because I got lied to about who the vote was. I voted for Danny, but then everyone ended up voting for Nina.
So was it Nina and Max that voted for you then?
Yeah, Nina and Max. And Danny would have too. You voted for Danny, right?
I voted for Danny.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I thought I was in a good spot before that, but now I'm feeling extremely shaky on shaky ground because I feel like the people that I trusted misled me. They tried to explain why they did that, which I do understand, but it just makes me feel like my place in the game is not what I thought that it was.
Wish I hadn't burnt it, but
Yeah, they lied to me.
I had no idea it was Nina.
I had no idea it was me.
I
Like,
would
you
love
have
to
Nick's-
target Joseph now. I would love it.
Like, this actually kind of hurt my feelings, where I was like, hey, Jessica, can we talk? Like, when everyone was like, oh, we have 5 more minutes, which meant we had 15 more minutes. I was like, hey, can we talk? And he was, And then he walks around me and starts talking to Danny.
I don't think I'm being perceived very well. Like, I think people probably think they can beat me if they get to the end, but I know that I'm also on the outside of some alliances, so I know people might also be gunning for me. I honestly just felt like it was really, really hard to work with you because I felt like you were lying to me every single time. Like,
What?
well, you were throwing my name out. You were like talking about me.
That's crazy because somebody threw me under the bus for that. I didn't pitch your name. In fact, it was other people that were pitching.
But you
your
voted for
name.
me today.
I didn't. You stole my vote.
But you would have voted with Nina and Max.
No. I was gonna write in there and vote Max's name because I'm pissed at him. I was ready to cuss him out in there.
Then why did they say that?
Because I was standing over there when they pitched that.
But you didn't tell me that. Like,
No, because I thought my name was out there.
It's like really hard for me to believe that when you like have lied to me about my names so many times.
Move forward
Yeah.
in the game. I'm not gonna like sit here and tell you that I can promise you that I wouldn't lie to you again.
Yeah, no,
because
yeah.
that's the nature of the game. But I'm
Yeah.
also not in the camp of wanting to take you out of the game because I think we benefit each other. Point
Okay.
blank.
Okay.
Honestly, like, I feel like I'm hemorrhaging people at the hips, and it's not really going well for me. I mean, Nina was somebody I was close with. Maris is somebody I'm close with.
So that was me trying to extend an olive branch. Did not right here. I wrote the big fucking Alex because I didn't want to vote for you.
They didn't tell me about the Nina plan, obviously, because they
didn't
thought
tell
we
me
were
that.
close, and they made that.
They fucking burned their influence. I don't understand why they took your vote.
I think they wanted people to be stressed, and I think they still think that I have that idol, so that they wanted me to like be paranoid and flush it, but I don't have any idol to fly.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to be easy people for them to pick off later today.
My God, my God. We can get them now 5 and run this. We can't. Why don't we bother like out and like yeah, Joseph.
In terms of the people that I'm feeling good with, I feel good about Brittany. She's somebody that speaks candidly with me. I feel really good with Corey. He was somebody that like reassured me that I'd be safe last round. I'd really like to like go to the final 3 with you.
I told you,
that,
yeah.
Like, I really want to, and I haven't
told
said
you
those
that.
words to like other people.
I really meant it when I was talking. I was like, I think it'd be iconic if we both made it. And we also have different paths and stories, so it's just telling our own stories.
I'm hoping that like we kind of get to a point where we start targeting some of like the biggest threats to kind of like shift to that mindset. I think someone like Corey is like super, super well connected. Everybody loves him. Everyone kind of feels like he's in their corner.
Corey's been very trustworthy so far, but I know Corey's trusted by everyone.
Oh, as the game gets closer and closer, I keep thinking like, okay, this is the week where I'm gonna have to battle. So it hasn't happened yet, and I'm gonna go back and hopefully not have to battle, but I'm waiting for that moment where I have to step in the ring and like throw a few punches, just like everyone else has.
Find a partner for this challenge. The best Olive Garden servers can remember even the longest, most complicated orders. And we just sat you with a big table. So we have to partner up.
Sure, yeah.
How do we want to random it?
How we're standing right now.
Yeah, we just do like,
I guess we'll across from each other, I guess maybe.
or we could just do like a number.
Number thing?
We'd go through that. Do you want to do like a number?
How many? We have 4, so. Oh, like
We've done
randomized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't we just pick our partners?
Yeah, so it's fine to partner, so
Yeah.
just pick.
Do we want to just do a cross or?
Just do a cross. You're like next to the person.
There's one.
Like 2, 2, 2, 2.
All right, the final 8. You ready to get to your next immunity challenge? Let's do it. Okay, you received tree mail. How did you play out what the tree mail told you?
Just picked. We were standing next to each other, and that's probably how it ended up.
All right, what are our partners here?
Me and Alex.
Okay. First things first.
Everyone to give it up.
I'll take that back. Individual immunity. Back up for grabs. For today's challenge, there are 2 stages. In the first stage of the challenge, you will be running the challenge as partners. The first 2 pairs to finish the first stage of the challenge will move on to the next stage. Starting off, each group of 2, one of you will go out and bob for an apple from that vat with the apple in your mouth, hands free. You are going to cross the balance beam, go over the bar, go under the rope, and then walk through the PVC lattice. When you get to the end, you are going to put your apple down. The other person in your pair will then do the same. So it's the first 2 pairs to get across. All right. Survivors ready. Go!
Yeah, there you go. Come on, Tasha. Hey, yo.
You got this, you got this.
There you go.
Tasha is the first one to grab an apple.
Nice.
Go back. Tasha, you gotta go back.
There you go. Keep focusing on it.
Brittany's got an apple now.
Go back.
There you go.
Brittany getting across that beam.
Take your time. Yeah, there you go.
You got it.
Tasha's under the rope.
Tasha.
Now high stepping.
There you go. Take your time.
Brittany's over now. Danny, under, over. Danny's through.
Oh, I guess they don't run back. Not bad.
Okay. Corey now. All right, Corey and Tasha are the first ones done. Go back, Joseph. Max is through. Max and Brittany. Okay, that's it. It's Tasha, Corey, Max, and Brittany. For this final phase of the challenge, each of you is going to race to assemble with those rods and twine a rod long enough to reach from behind the green string to grab your key ring. You are going to retrieve your key ring, use the key to unlock the box, which will then contain a question. The first person to write the right answer to the question on their notepad wins individual immunity. Survivors ready. Go! Everyone quickly racing to untie their rods and start assembling one long rod. A lot of different possible strategies here. How quickly do you go? How secure do you make it? How structurally sound versus how long? You've got to figure out the length you need. A lot of players moving very quickly. Tasha moving to attach her third segment. Max now lining up his fourth segment. Will these be long enough? Brittany attaching her final segment. Max is the first one to try. He's out. He's bringing it back. He needs to fix his rod. Corey's now gonna try. His rod's looking very, very dicey. Is he gonna be able to do it nonetheless? Brittany's now trying. Corey's gonna have to take his back.
Can you lean over?
Brittany's very close. Tasha's now gonna try. She's very close to getting that key ring. Very close. Corey's gonna try again. Brittany once again. Inches away from that ring. Touching the ring now. But it's not enough. It falls again. Corey, inches away from that ring. Corey had the ring, but his rod broke. That's the opportunity that someone else needs. is finally gonna try again, and Tasha's gonna try again. Tasha touching that keyring, but hers completely falls apart. Corey's gonna try. Brittany has her keyring, finally. Corey now, close on her tail. Can he get the keyring? Tasha's gonna try again. Brittany's got her box open. Brittany has her box open, read the question, and that is not right. That is not right. Mac's gonna try again. He has a rod that looks kind of solid right now. He's touching that keyring. Max, frustration setting in. Is this triggering you?
Where'd Max's twine go?
Everyone is absolutely struggling right now. The first part of this challenge went by in about a minute. This one is just at a standstill. That is not right. Max has his keyring, but he drops it. Max needs to hook it. Max has his keyring. Two players now trying to solve the question. Corey and Tasha still working on their rods. Max working quickly. That is wrong. Corey now hooking his keyring. Corey has it. Now three players working on the question.
Yeah, second one.
PBR. Wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. 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 Wrong.
At least I'm not the only one.
Wrong. 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 Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. Wrong. What? Yeah. Wrong. Tasha's gonna try again for her keyring. Tasha has it hooked. Tasha has her keyring. All four players now working on this question. Players who finished long ago have squandered that lead. It's anybody's game. It's just, can you solve this question? Wrong. 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 All right, everybody, I'm going to give you one and only one hint. You are not going to be able to figure this out if you still just sit there and think about it.
God damn it.
Are there more?
Don't share!
I don't want to like tackle her.
Max! Let's go! Individual immunity!
I'm playing this game for the memory of my dear departed friend Maris. That victory is for Maris.
What was it? The answer was 2. The question was, if you compare apples and oranges, what is the difference? That was the difference in the number of apples and oranges in that bin. Okay. Max, individual immunity, safe from the vote, will not be voted out next tribal council. For the rest of you, I got nothing. Just a date with me again at tribal council shortly.
Max wins immunity. Part of me is like, fuck. But then the other part of me was like, this is a golden opportunity because everyone was easily just gonna vote him off this round. Now that he has immunity, we can do something else.
I'll let you grab your things, get back to camp, and start strategizing.
So of the people over there, we got Allie, Tasha, and Alex. Of those, I think we can figure out who the floater is.
I feel like we know who the floater is.
Grab a life vest.
Floater, grab your life vest.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking, Mr. Immunity?
Allie's the hardest to figure out.
She seems like she's gaming, and then she's just like, I'm here for a good time. I can't really peg her down.
And Allie is like the biggest floater in everybody's head. I think she's somebody that will get to the final 3 in multiple iterations. She's someone that's sociable enough that she can be picked up as a number at 7 and 5 when people need that one extra vote. And she's savvy enough in this game. I mean, who hates her?
No one does. No.
She can say she's here for fun or here for the cameras, but there's only room for one fan favorite. I've had fun playing with her, but I think it's her time up this round.
I thought I was 100% going home, and then when I had my conversation with you, I was like, okay, maybe there's a chance. I was like, 'cause I just like genuinely like instinctively like trust you so much. How to be down for Brittany definitely got an advantage. I feel like she's somebody that like I used to be pretty close with, and she has clearly like boxed me out a bit. She's like throwing my name out a little bit. I think she's probably my #1 target to get out. That's like kind of people.
He's not going to get for it because they're working together. Everyone was Max was working with me. He's going to bed. That's why they slept in another outlet last night.
What was in the box?
What's in the box?
I was actually really annoying. Everyone saw me get something. And so I have to tell everyone something. It's either I tell them a lie or I tell them the truth. And if I tell them a lie, like what if they ask to see it? And then I look cagey if I don't show it to them. So I think I have to show it to everyone.
It says, congratulations, you've earned the bank. Your vote advantage just allows you to secretly not vote at one tribal council and keep the voting parchment to use as an extra vote at a future tribal council.
Oh.
The last time this advantage can be used is when there are 7 players left in the game. So I would have to not vote this time around.
And use it next.
And yeah, and my vote is just way too important to me. So I'm not planning to use this. I don't know how, like, what's the best way to convince everyone I'm not planning to use this at all.
Leave it here.
Hello. Do this. I'll put my feet on it and just here.
Okay. Brittany kind of made a big show of like, here everyone, I'm going to show everyone the advantage, and I'm going to like leave it here just to prove that I'm not going to use it, just to kind of like not put a target on her back. I'm a little bit suspect of that. I don't know that Brittany would just tell the whole tribe.
And it can't be stolen. Yeah.
Point of order.
Yeah, it can't be stolen.
While you guys are doing the challenge, I went to the bathroom to go wash like this tomato juice off. I came back out and I was standing behind Allie for like a good minute, just like with the other group. Allie literally pitches my name as I'm standing right there. And I was like, ow.
We were like sitting watching the challenge, and Allie came up and was like, "Should we still keep it?" I don't know what you heard, or if you could tell what she was saying.
Yeah, she did. And I was like, that's sloppy because I literally right behind you. And I walked up and I was still there.
And I was like,
I don't know if you feel the same. Voting her this round makes a lot of sense. But just as a side note, do not tell Alex this because they are friends outside of this game. They've been playing it down, but they know mutual friends and they're definitely maybe closer.
I think what we're leaning towards is maybe getting a floater out, which is Allie. I love her. I've been able to work with her. She's been kind of a liability, just revealing some stuff that shouldn't be revealed.
I love Valerie and I'm really close to Valerie, but
She's such a liability. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, like when I had the advantage, she outed it immediately. Like I told her seconds later, everybody knew, you know, and
You can't trust. How do you work with somebody? At least we know we can't trust Danny.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, we were just confirming Danny.
I'm not feeling the best. I'm also soaking wet still after changing, and I smell like tomatoes. I just think everyone thinks I'm a fucking idiot because I am partially, but also like I am succeeding in exactly what I wanted to do going in, which was play up the bimbo and kind of get dragged a bit to the end, like hook my wheels onto, you know, my powerful players and ride their coat feathers. I think I'm very aware of how I come across to other people, but I'm unable to turn down how I come across to other people. Like I'm unable to shelter me being myself. And while yes, this is my true self and I'm just playing it up and I'm here for a good time, I'm so aware of how I'm being perceived to a fault. I do think like age is a big factor. I'm the youngest one here. Joseph, Alex, and Danny are 24. I'm 23. I just turned 23. Like even that feels like a big difference to me. Like one more year of adulthood, I feel like I'm still like entering my sophomore year of adulthood. And I have a lot to learn, like I can definitely acknowledge that, but I see them kind of devaluing my opinion and my stance on the game, not necessarily because of age, but because I'm playing into that young and lost side of being 23. And now I'm almost to the point where it's like I want to be voted out because I'm I don't want to be voted out. I want to be voted out because I'm a threat. I would rather be voted out and participate in the jury and have that experience than be dragged to the end because they think I'm an idiot who can never win.
Hey. I guess she was pitching your name too over there. Just saying like she has weird vibes from you.
Allie.
Yeah, she said earlier she tried to talk to you, talk strategy before the tribal council, and that
That was my.
We were a little. She doesn't have a vote. She wasn't doing it.
Yeah, that was my all
yeah.
for that.
Sorry,
I'll go talk to Allie.
Sounds good.
Like last time when we were getting ready and everyone chat, I was just like getting really nervous about the end of it. I'm sorry we didn't get to go to the side.
And I mean, also, I wasn't bringing much to the table for them, so it doesn't really matter that much. I understand how I'm perceived in this group, and I'm trying to use it to my advantage. It is what it is. And now is the time to start getting resume moves.
Well, Brittany, we're feeling really good. 100%.
Feeling really good.
100% are we riding into each other's heels? Cool.
Yeah.
That conversation over there scares me.
Apparently, Brittany and Max are really, really close.
Yeah.
We get one person out, the majority. Right?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. Let's
I've
do it.
trusted all of you since the get-go.
Yeah. We could do a potential Brittany vote. Alex would be down.
Okay, Alex, Tasha, we need to get Danny.
You.
Because like Max isn't gonna do it. I don't think Corey's gonna do it.
Me, you, Alex, Tasha. That's enough.
That's half. That's 4.
Shit.
Well,
Hey.
should probably get.
You want to talk? Yes.
I was talking with like the people that didn't make it onto round 2 in the challenge, and Alex said something that kind of like set off a light bulb in my head. He was like, "Oh my God, Styx is just being cannibalized right now." And I was like, "Oh wait, let me look. There are still 4 red in the game and 2 salad, 2 Styx. I don't know if they're like explicitly working together."
Thanks for bringing that up to me. I really appreciate it. I think that's. I didn't even fucking think about that.
So to pull you in more, because this is my like olive branch to you too, the only reason why I'm getting more sketched out about this is because when we were on our like new soup tribe and got swapped, Allie and Corey's story was that Sula opened up the crypt text and found the idol, but that is not what happened. Tasha found the idol, and those two have been lying about it this entire time. They've stuck with the story that Sula had the idol when they knew Tasha had the idol for a large portion of the game.
That is so interesting.
And we also still have our hiddle.
Yeah.
Finally, which is like.
That has not talked.
No.
No one.
If it's not me, which I want it to be me, but if it's not me, I want to see one of my suit mates end up in the final.
The grand scheme of the game with her, because I feel like that's what he really wants to go all the way with you. He's mentioned you wanting to go up with me too.
Yeah.
Is he telling you the same?
He's telling me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that? I don't know who, but folks know you're an idol.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I just like wanna let you know that that's a thing that is out there as well.
I appreciate you letting me know that.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else like that you have? Okay. I just like in my mind, like we've been working like super closely together, and I want to keep working with you, and so I wanted you to know that. And I think Danny is pushing this like narrative that there's like a soup alliance that's happening.
I was with them for as long as I need to be with them. I'm down with you.
Yeah. I'm down for that. I think like I probably want to be sitting there with you more than I want to be sitting there with Max.
Yeah. So. I feel that too. So if we need to make it.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to solidify who my people are. I kind of want everyone to think that I'm with them, and even if I vote differently than them, they understand where I was coming from, and there was nuggets that I placed that made them feel like they weren't blindsided by my decision. So it's really shoring up connections by utilizing my votes.
It's hot. It's summer fantastico. The Olive Garden season of fun times and great food. Come enjoy our exciting new menu, and we'll give you our exclusive summer fantastico coupon book with big savings on all kinds of fun summer activities. Come in and share pasta chips and dip. Try tasty tricolor ravioletti and marvelous mixed grill combo, super salads, and fantastico desserts. Eat, drink, and be merry this summer fantastico at the Olive Garden.
Oh yeah. Cool. What's happening?
What did Danny say?
I just don't want to go right now.
They're playing very safe.
And they're also just kind of like anyone but me.
It's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
I want to know that like you can talk through things. It's not like I'm just gonna throw out a name and you're gonna go and say it again.
And they are playing a very strategically minded game and a very sly game.
What I would like to see at this point is to get a strong player out of the game. My vote is for Danny. I'm trying to lead people that way.
Hi.
Hey.
It's perfect.
I'm so
That's exactly what like we were all just saying.
Yeah. Like the longer they last, the better the story is. Like for real, like the struggle narrative is beautiful.
They're so like determined. They're like playing so hard. Like even from the beginning, like to win all the travels at the beginning, like after the first travel I went to, I was like, this is so exhausting. Yeah. Just like, and to go through all that and still be playing this hard is crazy.
Yeah. I agree. I think we're on the same page.
But I'm also down to switch it to Dinah. Like, I really don't care.
No, I think great.
Let's see what you.
This is a confusing vote. It seems like people are really all over the place. I've heard some things like Danny could be an easy vote, get a big threat out of the game. I've heard people talking about taking Allie out as a floater. Allie's gonna come up with a plan about taking Brittany out as someone really close to Max. So there's a lot of things floating around and none of it feels stable. No one's told me my name's come up yet, but every name's come up and it'd be silly for me to believe it hasn't at all.
Hey, didn't we talk to Max?
Not really.
No.
I think
Also, he has a big mouth.
yes.
He's so sporadic.
Yes.
And
he has immunity and some confidence and we'll be happy to shake
Last time he had immunity and confidence, we were on a beach.
I'm so happy I won that immunity. I've guaranteed top 7. I'm in a position of power. This round, with this power I have now, I want to oversee the departure of Joseph.
Yeah, look, everyone was saying Allie.
I don't get the point. She's not playing good.
Which she may take your spot at the end.
I'd personally rather do someone of more consequence, which, if I can speak freely, Joseph.
Yeah.
He's growing the most right now. He has the most upward trajectory. Joseph is playing a good game. Joseph is growing into himself a little. His head's enlarging. He has won a challenge. He has played an amulet. He has power. He's talking more and more. Let's just get him out of there.
Max is kind of on a power trip. Just because
He's safe.
he's safe. Also, he's just trying to drive the boat.
I feel like when he does win the immunity, he's very like, he would want
He's
try something.
definitely on the highest of power trips.
Yeah.
Max is on a power trip, by the way. You're going to talk to him and he's going to say Joseph. Yeah, I know. So I'm just saying, like, he's going to do whatever he wants.
I know what he's like when he gets immunity.
Right from every challenge, he's like manipulated. I mean, he essentially burnt my idol. I feel like let's just get him out and like clear up the playing field. Slinging Joseph.
Oh, really?
Cool with that?
I mean, I'll do whatever, but I was hearing Danny.
Think about this. Joseph's out, and you make final verdict. And you get to pitch your case to the jury. You get to say that you did that amulet stuff.
Yeah.
Joseph won't be there to say he did it.
Max said that plans Joseph.
Okay.
He definitely wants to do Joseph. Like Corey said, he's like kind of on a power trip where he's like very much like mansplaining Survivor.
Now, I will be careful. People are saying that you're throwing out a lot of different names. Okay, so that's what's worrying people. Just be careful, okay? Because I want you to go with me, Tasha, Brittany. I've heard your name from a few people. A lot of people are like Joseph or Danny. Play your game. People can tell you're really good at this game, okay?
Thank you.
Because you are. But just be aware of that. It might help you to like take a bit of a step back. That's what Alex is doing right now because his name was written a few times. Just something to be aware of. I think right now it's Joseph or Danny. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Which one do you like?
Joseph is a more physical threat, but Danny's a strategic threat, which I would prefer to get at.
You would for Danny?
Yeah.
Danny's definitely more charismatic, would get more votes, I think, in a charity.
Brittany's like super charming. She can talk to the jury, and I'm just like, you're the one who's like, everyone's gonna be wanting, like you talk, like that's what you do. You're really good at that.
I still stand by the fact that I think Danny's the biggest threat.
I told Joseph I'd go to the end with him because I think that's maybe my only path forward and my only ability to kind of keep myself in the game. And I think I'm a shield for you, at least in the sense that like...
I hope you feel the same about me.
I do, and that's why I want to work with you. I just have to kind of have that sprint to the end. I told people they'd never forget that I was here, and I hope the audience doesn't either. He's pitching your name hard, and so is Max.
How are you telling English about the
Oh my god, this is so messy. She threw out my name at the challenge.
So,
okay.
How are you pitching your name?
Yes.
They want to do Joseph still?
Yes.
Max said that the other two names that he's heard is Danny and you.
What am I writing down? We have 5 minutes.
If I had to vote right now, I'd vote Brittany. Let me talk with Corey and we'll convene right before.
This is right before, but okay, so Brittany right now, Brittany.
Alex, we were trying hard to get me to vote for you.
There's some... Yeah, I've heard all those names as well, but I don't think it's you. I think it's Joseph. And that's what Alex wanted, right?
No, I don't think Alex wants to vote for Joseph.
Who does he want, Danny?
Alex was just talking to me saying, like, between Danny and Brittany again.
Where did Brittany come up?
I don't want to vote for Joseph. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to, but with them, okay, then let's do Danny and make sure that Tasha's aligned.
We have enough to do Danny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It feels like too easy. I'm just freaking
I know.
out. Okay.
You got it? Okay.
What I think we should do is... What do you feel?
Do we have the numbers for Brittany?
I just am worried about Brittany because I think she's working really closer with Max than we think.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that this is like a good time because like Danny and Max, like they have nothing. They're like, whichever one of them doesn't win, we'll just take them out next time.
I agree.
So do you want to just do Brittany? That's what I locked in with Joseph.
I thrive in chaos. When everyone is running around and doesn't know what's going on, everyone comes to me and they ask me, okay, what's happening? That's where I do my work and I can make things change and happen and then, or align and be like, yeah, sure, let's do that. Like, I don't really care because sometimes it doesn't matter who goes home. You save who you can and the others are just fish.
Alex and Maggie are talking to me.
Yes.
Did you give a reason?
They think you're close to Max, really close.
Huh.
So just stay calm.
Okay. Don't freak out. I'll tell
It's a scary game, and the moment you feel okay is the moment stuff could go crazy. I never feel okay. Doesn't mean stuff won't go crazy.
All right, we'll now bring in the members of our jury.
Let's go.
Mamma mia!
Holy shit.
Everybody! It's all of them!
My old friends.
Oops. All right. Corey, you've made it deep into this game, but you're not there yet. Can you feel the weight of the game tightening around you with every decision you make and the pool getting smaller and smaller?
Yeah, every decision is just going to shape the rest of the game, and these conversations are getting tougher and tougher and more complicated because, everyone's breaking off. It's the plan, the actual plan. So, this is going to shape how the rest of the game plays. So every move has to be critical and understanding what that means for the next part.
Tasha, are we getting to the point in the game when people are starting to think as much about who they want around at the end of the game as they're thinking about who they want out now?
I think it's absolutely so. I mean, this group here is a very strong group of competitors, and I think that at this point, thinking about who you would like to be with at the end is an important thing to think about when you're making these kind of decisions.
Brittany, do you agree? Are people starting to even think as specifically in terms of Final 5, Final 4, Final 3, what those groups of people are going to look like?
I think people have been having those conversations, but I think that those conversations also change depending on who's in the group or who's there, who's not there. I think that everyone is being really strategic about things, and there's a chance that someone told me we are gonna go to the end, and they told someone else the same exact thing.
Danny, I feel like this theme has kind of been coming out lately in Tribals, which is that there's a lot of people that are not super consistently truthful in this group. Do you think that's accurate? Is this a game that features a lot of deception versus a game where everyone's kind of making it more obvious and open what their goals are?
Yeah, I think people are lying. I think in the game of Survivor, you have to lie at some points. If people aren't telling lies, then that's a lie. So I think that there's a way to go about it where you won't have everything be a lie that you're coming out of, because at one point you do have to still prove that trust to somebody and you have to show that your word means something. So I think for people, it's kind of a balance between when the lies will benefit your game and when you need to lie about lying.
Allie, do you think that our original soup, salad, and sticks are playing a role at all, or is this just an individual game at this point?
It's an individual game. I love my soup girls, don't get me wrong. We go way back, but I mean, it's to think that we're going by those tribal lines is so naive.
Alex, how are you approaching this phase of the game, and is it any different than the way you've been approaching earlier phases of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I haven't done as much of the long-term planning of a final 3 as maybe other people have. I feel like when your name is being thrown out, it's kind of more of trying to survive round to round. And so for me, this round it's more about just kind of letting other people handle it.
Danny, when your name is thrown out there, what do you do to make sure it's not you?
That's a really hard question because I'd love to know the answer. If anybody has it, please let me know. I think when your name is out there, it's best to kind of have a balance of that where you take a step back in order to help facilitate maybe a different portion of the game or help another player's game, but you also don't want to take too far of a step back that you've stepped off of the plank and you're like falling backwards. Like you don't need to fall too much into that.
Allie, what scares you most right now about this vote?
That my name was out there. But once again, I think there's so little of us now, there's really nowhere to hide.
You think your name is really in the mix for
I don't
this
know
vote?
if I'll be particularly receiving votes. If I'm confident with my people, and I feel strong in the people who I trust, and I think it will be okay for us, and I want to go with that confidence. But the fewer and fewer people we have here, obviously, the more nerve-wracking it is. I mean, a killer blindside to a blindside. So.
Joseph, do you feel confident in your people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still here. People have had my back, so I, plan to keep that up. The people who've had me before, hoping they have me again, I still got them.
You just have to like decide who you're gonna trust and go with that, and hope it works out.
It seems like all of you are hoping it's going to work out for you. We can find out who it's not going to work out for and get to the vote. All right, we'll start from the right corner. You're up.
I'm voting Brittany. I just feel like I heard you were throwing my name out, and we just kind of got on different pages. But I still love you and respect you a lot.
This has been the hardest vote for me so far. I'm really sorry.
Well, I voted for both of y'all. Y'all in this game now. Danny 1, bye. Danny 2, bye. Which is sad. It's sad. And I hope, but I also hope the other plan works. Like, if it's Joseph, see ya, because you're a little bit sassy to me, and I know you don't like cuddling at night. World peace.
I'm back. I know y'all missed me. As Rachel Riley famously said, floaters grab a life vest. You made a fatal mistake of pitching my name while I was standing behind you. We're back. Cute boots, by the way.
It's getting biblical. All right, I'll go tally the votes. I've tallied the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage that they would like to play, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll read the votes. First vote. Brittany. Second vote. Allie. Third vote. Joseph. We're tied. One vote Brittany, one vote Allie, one vote Joseph. Fourth vote. Danny. One vote Brittany, one vote Allie, one vote Joseph, one vote Danny. Allie. 2 votes Allie. Allie. That's 3 votes Allie. Next person voted out of Survivor Weekender Season 3, Allie. Score, that's enough.
Good game.
Yeah, Jerry! I got my Jerry! I have to pee so bad! Wait, that was pee. World peace.
Love you, Allie. Allie, your tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go.
Thank you. This is so fun. Bye, guys.
All right, there are only 7 of you left. It seems like you were all able to get on, most of you were able to get on one page, but this may be the calm before the storm. I'll see you soon for your next challenge.
That was so awesome! They got me so good! I love Survivor! And I'm so happy to be on this fucking jury so I can go to the bathroom when I want! I have to pee so bad! I wanted to go out blindsided and they got my ass. I can enjoy this.